City, but that will be departing as we approach.
If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again.
From power to refinement, it's the best Accord yet. Auto Week magazine.
It just doesn't get any better than this. Car and Driver.
Inside this handsome new structure is a cabin that caters to the driver, Motor Trend.
We've always received our fair share of accolades. The key is never being satisfied with them.
Now you can lease a 2003 Accord LX sedan for $239 a month for 39 months.
With hundreds of cars at every CarMax store, we have nearly every make and model on one lot, like Suburbans, Grand Cherokees, and RAV4s, Camrys, Accords, and Tauruses. But if you want even more choices, go to CarMax.com. You can choose from our nationwide online inventory of over 15,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs, so you'll always find the car that's right for you. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
100 years ago, Ford Motor Company was founded on the principle that the automobile should be affordable. Now that's a legacy worth remembering and a reason to save during Ford's 100th anniversary. Get 0% financing for 60 months on the world's best-selling F-150, or choose $3,000 cash back. That's 0% for 5 full years or $3,000 cash back on Ford F-150. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again.
Recognized for providing you with outstanding news coverage, News Channel 7 is on your side.
4, please. Tiger Woods on the tee.
We are live at the final round of the Masters and the first tee with Tiger Woods. Well, he lost that one right, but yesterday he regained his form at the very time he needed it. They had to tidy up round 2 in the morning, then establish the cut, and Tiger came to his final hole, the 9th, needing par to make it into the final 36 holes. After driving it right, punching out, he had to get down in 2 from the green side bunker, or his streak of over 100 cuts made in a row would be broken. And he drilled the putt to make the cut right on the number at 5 over. He talked between rounds of possibly shooting 65, 66, and because he was one of the last in, he started on the other side using both tees. Suddenly there was a not so subtle reminder to everyone in the field, hey, I'm still in this. Holding the long putt at the 11th, his second hole of the day, on to his 15th, yet another long one. A bogey-free round of 66 to climb over 37 players. Find himself on the first page of the leaderboard. We are 20 minutes out from the final pairing of Maggart and Weir. Singh and Toms next up at number 1. Jeff Maggart is the leader in the final round of the Masters.
Sunday at Augusta. Will it be a day that defines a player's career? Or will it belong again to the man who has defined his sport? Here he is, Jeff Maggart, The reticent Texan making a loud statement atop the Masters leaderboard with 1 round to play. But he wasn't the only one to ignite the roars on moving day. Here, some legends are born, others reaffirmed, as was the case with a Saturday charge to remember. Tiger Woods, on the brink of elimination, is now positioned to win the Masters 3 years in a row. Or will it be the day Mike Weir steps up and brings Canada its first major title in golf? Vijay Singh has the game and the green jacket to handle Sunday at the Masters. David Toms won a major down the road in Atlanta. But for many followers, they are longing for Phil Mickelson and the round of his life, while the world's greatest player reminds everyone.
Here I
From Augusta, Georgia, CBS Sports proudly presents the Masters. You know, if you are passionate about this game, this is always the day you relish the most. So good to have you with us. The weather absolutely ideal. Augusta National bursting with the colors of springtime as we once again celebrate Mother Nature's annual renewal. When you see these pictures framed against that soothing Augusta melody, you can't help but remember the legends who competed here, the magical moments of the Masters, or the days of watching it with a loved one at home. Days in, will it all belong to Vijay Singh? All the glory here. How about David Toms, who won the PGA 2 years ago, right here in Georgia at Atlanta Athletic Club? Or Mike Weir, who at one time had a 6-shot lead yesterday? Or how about Phil Mickelson? He's already out there having parred his first hole. Jose Maria, twice a winner at Augusta, paired with Tiger. Then there is Jeff Maggart. 10 times in his career he's finished in the top 10 of a major. And then there is Tiger, chasing yet more history today, trying to win this event for the 3rd straight year. That has never happened before. Mike Weir yesterday had it to 7 under, 6 in front, and then he started to get a little tentative with the stroke that it looked so solid the first 2.5 rounds. All these putts missed down the stretch, losing their speed, all lost left. Meanwhile, Jeff Maggart stumbled at 11, made a double, but rebounded, and boy, did he come in hot. Sometimes you just get a little break you never expect. This was at 14 on his way to birding 5 of the final 6 to lead by 2. Before that round, he had broken 70 here only once in his 28 previous rounds, but he is the leader, and he's about 15 minutes out. Back over live at the first with Tiger. Lanny Watkins joining me now in Butler Cabin.
And we're looking at Tiger Woods from the bunk on the right-hand side of 1. He has 142 to the hole. Really shouldn't have any problem with the lip. Tiger probably only has 8 or 9 iron from this position and should be able to handle this. Now, will it stay up?
Nope.
False front on the front of this green. It spins back off down the slope, leaving himself a very difficult pitch up over the slope back down to the hole.
One of the easier hole locations at the first.
It really is. In the right front center, almost in a bowl. Ball will suck right down to the hole.
Trying to mount what would be the most significant comeback of his career. Yes, he did come back from 11 down at the 98 Johnny Walker, and that would match the total here. This being a major, though, there would be really no comeback bigger than this for Tiger in his remarkable career. Earlier, Jose Maria playing with Woods.
from 187. Managed to chase it on the right side of the green.
Oh, look at this.
Just catches the slope. Not bad from there. Good start for Jose out of the trees.
Got a good look at birdie, too. Over to the second, Lynn Matisse, who got back into this tournament yesterday with a round of 69 and said, who knows, anything's possible.
And Lenny, one of the best putters on tour year in, year out. And that was for birdie to put him 1 under par.
Jeff Maggart, the winner of the match play event a couple of years back, when he had to go 38 holes to defeat Andrew McGee. He's a leader by 2 over Mike Weir, twice a winner this season. VJ, 2-time major champion. And David Toms, singing Toms going together. Woods going for the 3 in a row in a major. We have not seen a major conquered 3 years in a row since Peter Thompson accomplished that back in the 50s at the British Open. Never here before at Augusta. Tiger holding the back-to-back mark with Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo. Fred Couples there at +2, open with a bogey at 1, short miss. Davis Love 2 over and still trying to come back from an opening round subpar 77. Darren Clark, who just amazed us all here Friday with 66 in the first round, the best score for the opening, 18 by 3. We go back out to 1. Tiger with this little chip.
Many ways to play this. You can take and bump it into the slope and chase it like a putt, or take a lofted club, carry it up on top, and let it trickle down to the hole. Looks like Tiger has about pitching wedge. A little back in his stance.
You know, Lanny, we talk so often because we see it so often, how his presence on the leaderboard just seems to throw all the other players in a funk. Now, what about his strategy today, knowing how everyone reacts to him? What do you think Tiger's trying to do here?
I think, number one, Tiger needs to put the ball in the fairway today. This is a very narrow golf course. You saw him struggle off the tee at 1. His alignment didn't look good on that first tee shot.
VJ at 1, winner at Phoenix this year, said right after, nobody wants it more than me. Anxious look right, and for good reason.
Jim, I think as the players play this hole more and more, they're going to find out that the right bunker is a lot more playable than the left trees.
Well, how about this little news flash? Mickelson drove it into that hazard just left of him, so he had to take a drop. This is his 3rd shot on the par 5.
Oh, he's got to be standing on the tee thinking birdie.
Oh, look at this.
Still maybe thinking birdie. Albeit a very long one, but that is some play from where he was.
That looked like driver off the pine straw.
Yes, it did, and he did that yesterday with his 2nd shot here, trying to punch it low under the trees.
Never broken 70 in the Masters final round. He's been 3rd here the last 2 years. Back at 1, Olafable for an opening birdie. I think that you're looking at a man who is pursuing green jacket number 3 in his career, which would equal him with his playing companion and the likes of Sam Snead, Jimmy Demerit, Nick Faldo. Earlier on the first tee, David Toms.
Beautiful golf swing of David Toms, a player I really like to watch. Just really in control of his swing and his game right now.
We had that breakthrough performance here in 98's final round. Really, no one knew of him back then. When Tom shot 29 on the last 9 on Sunday, had 6 straight birdies, as he set a couple of Augusta records. Back to Tiger, looking for par at 1.
Hits that one in with authority, Jim. I like that stroke to start.
With Maggart and Mike Weir making their way over to one. The final pairing. Appreciative applause for Maggart with that 66 yesterday. And there's Mike Weir. He's getting just a couple of more strokes down on the adjacent putting green. Now heading over. Maggart will open play in front by 2. 3 clear of Singh, Toms, Woods, Mickelson, Olafable, all at 1 under. And hello, my friends. Jim Nance here in Butler Cabin, where later today the green jacket will be presented to the 2003 Masters winner. And yes, the tradition, unlike any other, continues. The Masters on CBS for the 48th consecutive year. And that tradition continues with my friend here, Lanny Watkins, in the cabin. What about this day? I mean, you got all these great names on top of the leaderboard, and Tiger's right in the middle of it all. What do you expect we're going to see here?
I think it's a wide open tournament, Jim. We have an unproven front runner in Jeff Maggart. He has not fared well when he's been in front. A lot of pressure on him. I'm sure he didn't sleep well last night. Some very experienced veterans, major championship winners right behind him. They're licking their chops, anxious to get after it.
You wonder what will it take to win here? If you're a guy like Maggart, what's the target score? If it's 5 under, if you think 5 under is the winning score, you only need to go out and shoot 72. Look at the Champions final round score here over the last several years. Tiger 71, as everyone else last year made the mistakes. What do you expect the number is to watch at the top at the end?
I think if Jeff Maggart can get it under par, he's going to be awfully difficult to catch. I like 6 under. I think 6 under is a very nice score right now.
So that would be 71 for Maggart, but that would be 67 for Mickelson and Woods. Conditions suitable for something like that
conditions
today?
are very suitable for good scores today. A lot of the tees have been moved up. Some of the pins are very, very accessible in the par 5s. I think we're going to see some eagles and a lot of birdies.
We'll have some fun watching it from here and the 18th, Lanny, and let's take a look at these pairings. There's Mickelson. We were talking about how he hadn't broken 70, but listen, to be fair here, the last 4 years, 71, 70, 71, 71. So they haven't been awful final rounds. They just haven't been extremely low, and he may need one today. Toms and Singh. These are very, you would think, compatible pairings that you see here.
Very business-like players, those two right there. And I think for Maggart and Weir in the last group, also compatible. They don't intimidate each other.
All right, Lanny, the CBS Golf family, so happy to be here, proud to be here with Bobby Clampett down on Amen Corner. Peter Costas at the pivotal par 5 13th. Bill McAtee calls the action at 14. David Faherty at the par 5 15th. Vern Lundquist over at 16. Peter Osterhaus 17. Dick Imberg with well, his unique perspective from the Butler cabin. Maggart and Weir about to get started. By the way, Ernie Els opened with birdie today. You might recall yesterday he had an unfortunate break at 14, stumbled coming in, and then, well, he turns around and he's given one back. So Els right back to where he started. Rich Beam, the PGA champion. Fine showing here at 1 over. And we go out to the play of the second.
Tiger Woods, 575 yards, par 5 down the hill. Bunker in play for Tiger on the right, just over 300 yards to reach it. If he can find the fairway, no doubt at all he can reach the green in 2, and an inviting hole placement today, back right. That's a huge drive. And we have a good look at the hole placement here up on the green. We saw Mickelson, a brilliant third shot with a metalwood out of the trees, pine straw. This for a birdie. Absolutely incredible. A penalty shot for his second stroke on this hole. And that is an unbelievable birdie for Phil Mickelson. Goes to 2 under par for the tournament. Pin is back there more than 20 yards. You saw how long the ball took to reach the cup. Incredible. Every champion needs a little luck on their way to a title, and that is a remarkable birdie. Back to number 1.
Oh, that is so stunning. Over at 1, third shot for VJ.
Little past the hole. If it would just go a little higher, it'll come back down the slope. Here it comes.
It's crawling back. Driver, drop, driver, one putt from, what would you say, 60, 70, 80 feet?
I'd say 80 feet. I've been there. That's not a fun putt.
That's amazing. Maybe a harbinger, though, of great things to come for Mr. Mickelson.
He'll remember that putt for the rest of his life. That's incredible.
Will he remember this day for the rest of his life? He finds himself now just 3 back. Woods, Olaf Laubel, Matisse at 1. Goosen, KJ Choi, his first Masters. He opened here Friday. Remember, we were watched out Thursday by birding the first 3 holes. No one had birdied the first 3 holes in their first Masters in over 40 years.
Can we go? All right. 4, please. Jeff Maggott, now driving.
His solid play defying all the logic you'd heard coming in that only long drivers could win here. 156th in driving.
Four, please. Mike Weir now driving.
It has been a remarkable season for Mike. Winner at the Hope, winner at the LA Open. He came here this week, though, and said when you get to Augusta, it feels like the start of another season. Trying to become Canada's first ever major champion.
Here we go, Mike.
You'll like that one.
Jim, that's something both these players have to do. They're not exceptionally long, but they must put it in the fairway time and time again today.
All right, Lanny. Everyone wondering how Jeff Maggott will hold up with the lead. We asked him about it before the round.
My golf game is definitely capable of winning the golf tournament today. I'm excited, I'm nervous, but it's going to be a good day, a fun day, and just have fun and try to make some birdies, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Jeff first played in the last group of a major back at the '97 Open at Congressional and finished 4th in that U.S. Open won by Ernie Els. Had his first breakout performance at a major at Belle Reve at the '92 PGA, where he contended, finished 6th. But his game has been suffering here the last 2 years. He's missed the cut in about half the events he's competed in over the course of the last 2 seasons. No one really saw this performance coming in. Up ahead on the green at 1 for par. Toms.
Not a good start for David, especially from the middle of the fairway where he drove it.
VJ must make a putt, too, to make his par. 3rd hole.
Len Matisse hit the par 4, 3rd, and back-to-back birdies for Matisse, who recorded his first 2 tour victories last year. This only his 2nd trip to the Masters. Back to 1.
All right, so Toms with a bogey 5, seen trying to avoid one right here. Good sign for VJ.
Wonderful up and down there.
To 2.
It's a perfect drive from Tiger Woods. Getting past the bunkers, middle of the fairway, 250 yards to the pin, cut behind the bunker on the right. And he'll be well aware that it was Phil Mickelson who made the monster putt. Whether Tiger knows it was for a birdie or an eagle, probably he doesn't know that. High faded long iron. Use the slope to kick the ball left to right. That's the plan. Beautiful shot. Perfect drive, perfect second. Tiger started on this second hole yesterday, trying to clean up his second round on the second, and then had the scramble on the ninth just to make the cut. Just 3 under par for the par 5s this week. Not good by his standards, or by any Masters winners' standards. But 2 brilliant shots there. Back to number 1.
And sitting here with Lanny watching that second shot by Tiger, you could only laugh.
He just continually hits amazing long irons, and that was just another one. And to make 2 swings like that this early in the round, it's got to really make him feel like he can do anything today.
Maggart and Weir back there.
Very accessible pin here at 1, Jim. We've not seen anyone get it close yet, but it sure looks like one that could get it close. Mike Weir, 175 to the hole. A shot that really should fit him. He gets a little draw for a left-hander, which is left to right. Pins in the right center of the green. Really would expect him to get this shot close if he makes a nice swing. Got a little ahead of that shot, just like he did with the irons coming in yesterday, which resulted in a push for him, not getting the ball to turn over. Now Jeff Maggart from 173. Tougher pin for Jeff. He tends to work the ball from right to left.
Look out right.
And that's Jeff's mistake. He starts fighting the hook a little bit and instantly blocks it to the right, and that is really in a bad position to start. Not what he was looking for at all.
Here's his Masters career final round scoring average, just a little shade above 72, and we head over to 3.
Mickelson second to the short par 4 third. Just a little flip sand wedge. And Lanny, I like the strategy for Mickelson. Perhaps he would be the only one in the field that could take a go at this green, but after the long bomb at 2, you need to settle yourself down and just play a conservative play here, I think, at 3.
I do too, Bobby. I like that a lot. He could have driven that green today, and after this bomb here, what an unbelievable putt.
And as a player, you've got to think when those things happen, it's your day. What an incredible birdie for Mickelson at 2. And we asked Phil Mickelson about the kind of start that he's going to need to have to begin his opening round. He's never shot in the 60s in the final round at Augusta.
He's going to be behind me, and if I can get off to a quick start, then I'll force the guys behind me to keep pace.
We're back over here at 1 and looking at that a second time. Well, actually, this is still over at 3 with Mickelson. But, Bobby, I have to say this. If you're in Camp Mickelson, the thing that you enjoyed just as much as the birdie was the reaction. Instead of that patented Phil sheepish look, I mean, there was just outright unharnessed joy.
It was extreme jubilation out of his face. You could see it. You're right, Jimmy. And that's the kind of start that he needed. That was the spark. You need to get off to a good start like that. You need good things to happen at the beginning and then start the momentum. We saw Tiger yesterday drop the 50-foot bomb at the 11th, starting his round. He went on to shoot 6 under par 66. And Jimmy, that's the look that you were talking about there. That is jubilation plus. It's back to 1.
And here's Maggart. Caught a piece of it.
Actually saved him. Would have been much further by the hole. Now left with about 10 feet to save par.
Went in there pretty aggressively.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Boy, a very accessible pin. Just surprised they haven't. No one out of these last few groups has gotten it close at 1.
With it the hole location right in that swale. You think some of the players, particularly off some good tee shots that we've seen.
Well, number one is one of the tougher greens on the course, often overlooked because it is the first green.
Back over to 2.
And Tiger Woods, obviously an excellent chance for an eagle, considering that Phil Mickelson made his birdie bomb from maybe 4 times as far away. Only 1 eagle at the second hole this week, that from Nick Faldo. Second round. And 2 just stunning shots to get here and have this good a chance for an eagle. Struggled with the putting in the first round. Got it sorted out yesterday. Holding that follow through. Oh, one of the most disappointing putts we've ever seen Tiger hit. Just dribbling it up there to 3.
And Mickelson coming down the slope for birdie. In the early going, it's difficult to feel the pace of the greens, but Mickelson judges it well. Almost assuring him a par 4. Phil has often said that he felt his best chance at winning a major would be right here. He said, and his record proves it. Let's go back to 1.
And Mike Weir from the back of the green at 1.
But it's very fast once it gets to right here.
Wonderful effort. Back to 2.
For the birdie. Birdied 3 of the 4 par 5s yesterday. Only the 8th hole miss, and bangs that in the back. 2 very aggressive strokes on his par putt at the first and that second putt there, but he knows it was a chance. He should have had a run at an eagle. Back to the first.
And Maggart with a run at par.
Oh, that's a huge putt for his psyche this early in the round, Jim. Huge.
We saw Maggart holding putts like that throughout the second 9 yesterday, birding 5 of the final 6 holes. And Mike Weir looking at this putt for par while we have a moment. Some of the tees today have been moved forward, rather tempting for these players, including over at the 3rd, where you saw something you liked.
I did. Phil Mickelson could have driven the 3rd green with where they had moved the tee to today, and he showed a lot of, I guess, resolve that he laid up. He actually put a very smart play. Nice solid stroke there by Mike Weir.
Well, off to a rather thrilling start, I would say. Maggart with a great par at 1, then Weir, Woods, and Mickelson. And look at Rich Beam now in red figures with Furyk.
Welcome to the final round of the 2003 Masters Tournament. Augusta National Golf Club, with the support of the CBS Network and its affiliates, is pleased to bring you this telecast, and for the first time, totally in high-definition format and free of commercial interruptions. This year more than ever, we're also pleased to make this broadcast available to the men and women of our armed forces stationed throughout the world. We are very proud of all of them. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the Masters.
Going to the last round, it was just a matter of, could I get it going? I stand out there in the fairway with Jackie and said, how far do you think a 3 would go here? And I didn't mean 3 iron, I meant 3 for the hole. He said, I think it'll go a long way, Bob.
And he's got a chance. He's got a very, very good chance. Yes, sir. There's life in the old bear yet.
Not only will I remember forever, but an awful lot of people remember that I've won 6 Masters forever. I've loved every minute of it.
And Tiger Woods live on the tee at 3, going for the green. Lanny, this surprises me. And he's lost it way right. That is a huge mistake. I am really surprised that Tiger Woods would take the driver here with the hole cut in the very front left.
Okay with these, Phil?
And Tiger in his 8 major wins, you can see he's either been tied for the lead or in the lead alone in each of his 8 major victories. And let's go up ahead to 4.
Mickelson on the tee, 217 yards today, and the flag in a brand new place, back left. Ooh, that's a miss hit. Well, he's had problems with the par 3s, as you can see there, +5 for the tournament. And he'll have his work cut out there to get it up and down. The back left of this green has been tilted up a little, flattened out. There's a new flag position there. No longer the walk-off to the 5th tee. It'll be very interesting to see how these players cope with it. And there's Tiger's ball. Looks pretty. I suspect he's not going to be over the moon with that. Back to the 2nd.
And Mike Weir on the tee. Had a great drive here yesterday. Alongside the bunker, was able to reach the green in 2. Not considered one of the long hitters on tour, but has certainly improved his distance this season. Back to that. Full waggle pre-shot routine. Went away from it last year. And safe enough. But consider where Tiger was in relation to that bunker. Mike Weir well back. Final round scoring for Mike Weir in his Masters career. Just the 1 round of 72, that his best. Earlier, Jeff Maggott. Just a super rhythm off that first tee, considering the pressure. Pretty good rhythm there, but leaning as if it could kick into the trees. It's all right. Let's have a look from above. Pink dogwood, each hole at Augusta National named after a shrub, a flower. 575. Huge bunker on the right, over 300 to reach that. Sharply downhill, almost 90 feet downhill from tee to green. Hit the great drive, and then see if you can squeeze it past the left-hand bunker and move the ball left to right, as Tiger did, to the back right hole placement. Some very difficult pin placements to the left. Very difficult to get close to them. This week's 2nd easiest hole, the 4 par 5s, are the 4 easiest holes in relation to par at Augusta National. Just the 1 eagle from Nick Faldo, 80 birdies. A few others, one of them the 8 from Brad Faxon yesterday. He was going along nicely, well positioned, and made 8. Up on the green, Vijay Singh, who had just over 260 yards for his 2nd shot. Looks as if he'd lagged a putt, had the putter in his hand. Anticipating that to be a birdie putt for Vijay, who so often goes quietly about his business, stays in position, an opportunity to win. Now Toms slicing that one out, not much green to work with. 3rd shot for David Toms, so close to the pin but not on the putting surface, with his 2nd, and a chance for a birdie. Head to number 3.
Of all the golf I've watched Tiger Woods play, I don't think I've ever criticized him for a strategic error, but I just don't like the driver play here at 3 with a hole cut front left. I believe the play is to lay it back, play a sand wedge, and we'll go ahead to 4.
Where Jim Furyk hung up on the side of the slope there. This will be a long right to left chip and run. Picks up a little speed here. Ooh, and that will be a tester. Have to start that one outside the hole. A very quick right to left putt to save par. Furyk at 1 under par.
Quiet, thank you.
Back at the third, and it's another lefty.
He's going to try to pull a Mickelson and a Weir here. He's got 103 yards, but that's the least of his concern right now. Flipping the wedge over. Oh my. That's as well as could be played from there. A chance to get it up and in and somehow salvage a par, but that's a very difficult pitch from below the green. Let's take a look at this again. Left-handed, taking the wedge, flipping it over, and just somehow trying to thread it through the trees, catch it solidly, and get it up around the green. Really the only play he had. But Lanny, getting back to that tee shot, I really like the play of Tiger hitting a 2-iron there and just leaving himself 90, 100 yards in for a second.
Maybe even less than 2-iron, Bobby. Just put it in the fairway, leave yourself a full shot that you can spin and stop, because that left side of that green is very, very firm and very shallow.
Back to 2.
And David Toms for the birdie to move to 2 under par. Well done. Bunching up at 2 under par, 3 behind Jeff Maggott. This was earlier. Vijay Singh for a birdie, and that goes in. So 3 under for Vijay. Good putt at the first hole, nice putt at the second for Vijay. Ahead to 4.
And Mickelson a little bit on the upslope here. We'll have to fly this quite a long way. What a shot. And he knows it again. That's a superb effort. A very long bunker shot. Stone dead. So far, so good. Back to the 3rd.
And Tiger's 3rd. You can see the elevation climb. He'll have to open up the sand wedge and spin it from here. Really no chance to run it up the slope. It's a significant incline. Didn't have the lie for it, perhaps. And now Tiger has 3 and still is not on the green. Lanny.
Well, Bobby, there's no question that, you know, he's being very aggressive playing driver off the tee, but boy, it brings any number into play. And right now he's got his hands full just trying to make 5.
And this is a very difficult little pitch shot again into a. He'll have a significant incline just reaching the green. He'll have to open it up again. Or if he elects to go low.
He's looking low, Bobby. I think he's going to go into the bank here, try and control it. You know, into the bank, 1 hop, spin, stop.
And that's difficult because it's straight downhill once it reaches the green. So again, if he can get this inside 10 feet, it'll be a good shot. But there's just so much danger here. Bobby Jones once said about the 3rd that it's a short hole, and most people think you should birdie the 3rd, but he once said some holes are not meant to be birdied.
Bobby, I think it's probably the toughest short hole I have ever seen.
Especially with a hole cut front left. That's the most difficult hole placement here. And Tiger is looking low. He's got a downslope. Really the only shot he's got. Mickelson did make par up ahead at 4. Yep. So Tiger left with 17 feet left for bogey, and there's already been 1 double bogey recorded at the 3rd today. And that's what happens when you take driver out at 3. Open that up, that possibility. And let's take a look at this 350-yard par 4 Flowering Peach. Series of bunkers guard the left-hand side. Today, the Masters Committee has moved the tee up in front to entice the players to go for the green. It worked with Tiger. But it's the large swale in front of this green, significantly elevated green, that really is the characteristic of this hole and makes the players think. Alistair McKenzie, just a magician when it comes to strategizing a course. Let's go to 5.
That's Mickelson.
Sit. Soft.
Begging for it to hit soft and look out right. And again, so heavily influenced by the set of bunkers on the left side. Let's go back to 3.
Downhill, significant left to right break for bogey for Tiger. Mid-stroke. It'll be a 6. And just like that, Tiger Woods gives 2 back. He's not had an over par hole in 22 holes. His confidence was riding on a high. And I'm really surprised at that play off the tee. Back to 2.
Jeff Maggott laid up with his second shot. This his third. No option to go for the green in 2 for him. And use the slopes with a ball already very close. We know whose that is. A nice pin placement for a left-hander. A little draw with a short iron. They reached the green in 2 yesterday, but a careful layup to the favorite yardage. And his wedge play has been superb this year. A great wedge to win the Bob Hope against Jay Haas. A great wedge to set up a birdie to beat Charles Hull in Los Angeles. Beautiful shot. So Mike Weir, a chance to go to 4 under par. He showed some restraint at Riviera when he laid up on the renowned short par 4 10th. And we'll go to another short par 4, the 3rd.
And VJ has laid back 127 yards. And the play here a little right of the flagstick, and that's ideal. Maybe a little further right than he would have liked, but that's the play here at 3. You don't mess with that left-hand hole location. Too many things can happen. You can spin it back down the slope. You can hit it long. And David Toms from 120 from the second cut. Better angle for Toms, but he won't be able to spin it. Ball flew a little bit. Now it's going to roll back down into the slope. Should hang on an uphill lie. That'll help him there. Be able to spin a pitch as it comes down the hill. To 5.
And Lynn Matisse. This is for par. And he works wonders again with that putter. Tied for 4th. Back to 2.
Jeff Maggott, great save at the first hole. Oh, he thought he'd made it. 5 birdies in 6 holes yesterday. The putter working beautifully. Just 21 putts yesterday. Mark O'Meara only had 19 in his 3rd round. Didn't hit many greens in regulation. Just a little firm, perhaps. Has to settle for a par. And the tap in for Mike Weir for a birdie, just a formality. So he didn't need the power to reach the green in 2. Finesse with the wedge. Makes the birdie. 39 on the second 9 yesterday. Let an opportunity slip to establish a pretty good lead to the 4th.
Tiger now taking dead aim at the back left. Doesn't hit it. No. Another half a club maybe. 25, 30 feet up the hill, right to left. To the fifth.
Well, he's on the pine straw, but it's better than he had first feared.
Made such a nice play at 3, Jim, laying up off the tee. Smart play, and then took driver here. If he gets this to stay on the green, it'll be one heck of a play. That's very nice from there.
Isn't that an interesting little twist? He backs off driver at 3. Course management. Tiger goes driver and makes double.
Just shows you what can happen if you make the wrong decision.
All kinds of things happening here. The lead 1 now for Jeff Maggart.
I'm 9 now, but when I was 8, I'd do things I wasn't supposed to. In golf, you actually have to follow the rules. You don't talk when people are putting. Always repair the ball mark, even if it's not yours.
If someone's putting, you don't walk in their line.
You keep your own score, so you have to know how to act. And you gotta tell the truth.
Put a golf club in kids' hands and watch them grow.
If you do certain things that you're not supposed to, you get a shot added to your score. You don't want to do those things. You have to learn from your mistakes to get better.
When you hit a bad shot, you just have to deal with it. Do better on the next hole. That's all there is to it.
At the First Tee, we teach kids important values that will have an impact on their communities and the rest of their lives. At more than 100 facilities all across the country, the First Tee has been able to reach hundreds of thousands of kids.
If it wasn't for golf, I'd be like my friends, a couch potato.
The First Tee. Find out how you can help.
Well, that double bogey by Tiger drops him into a tie for 10th with Angel Cabrera. And we head to the 7th.
Rich Beam, who had a thrilling eagle at the 5th hole, now attacking this whole location at 7. Oh, almost another one, but that is going to come back off the front edge. Such a delicate shot required at 7. And another delicate shot back at 3.
Toms trying to take advantage of the uphill lie. Well played. Uphill 5-footer remaining for par. And on the tee, Jeff Maggart. And I like this play.
Get down.
Ooh, but he hooks it well left. That'll be short of the bunkers. And on the green, VJ. And he gets fooled. He'll have a tricky downhill 4-footer remaining for par to 7.
And the chip shot up the slope, but electing to go with the putter is Rich Beam. Not bad, had to get it up there, otherwise it would roll back down to his feet. To 3.
And Toms for par. Systematically going through his routine. The 4.
And Woods now so aggressive on the last hole. Only 5 back. Rich Beam made par over at 7. And this is a hole they've never seen before over there. Right to left. Boy, well, these greens are a very healthy matte finish. They're not just as shiny as they've been in recent years, but they are still quick. And Tiger, that's just a reaction to not wanting the 3 or 4 foot down the hill. Boy, that was almost like the melting left wrist at impact. Very strange putt.
David, it almost looks like he still has number 3 on his mind. The kind of mistake Tiger very seldom makes.
It'd be hard to get that one out of your head. Back at the 3rd.
VJ. Well done. for par. To 5.
And Mickelson for birdie. Rammed it.
Good effort. Was an uphill putt from there, so he could take a run at it with it not getting too far away from him. But I'll tell you what, anytime you can get par on this hole and get out of here is very nice.
Over to 3.
And Jeff Maggart did find the bunker. Oh, my goodness.
Bobby, he was lucky that didn't hit him. That'd have been another couple of shots.
Exactly. Be careful not to ground your club now. The ball's still in the bunker.
Bobby, it did hit him. He just said it hit him. That's 2 more shots.
Oh, my goodness. What a bad break that is.
Get the official over just to let him know.
And let's take a look again. See the ball as it comes against the lip. Ricochets back. Oh, yeah, that hit him right there in the chest. No doubt about it. And Maggart being very honest about it.
Not only that, Bobby, probably a good chance the ball semi-buried in the bunker. A lot of times that happens, comes off soft.
Oh, what a bad break. To 4.
For par. Well, he made a good stroke too. Fraction 2 firm, and he's over this one quickly. Those are not tap-ins here. +1, and now he has to dig deep. And another man, I don't think that ball buried. It kind of hit him, glanced off his chest and rolled out a little bit there. But boy, I haven't seen that for a long time.
No. It's just a wedge shot from there. Maybe a 9-iron. Must have caught it a little thin. And let's go to 5.
And this for par, and Mickelson converts.
And Jim, this tournament just got really wide open.
And so surprising with Tiger going double bogey over to 4.
Vijay Singh 2 back at the minute, but he won't be after this. With Maggart in trouble, and that's exactly where Tiger left it. And the putt fooled him. A lot slower than he thought. Back to the trials and tribulations of Jeff Maggart.
Now he's hitting 5 after the 2-stroke penalty. Hooked the iron into the bunker, then ball ricocheted into the lip, hit him in the chest. 2-stroke penalty. And really from the bunker, just trying to hit it right side of the green, the fat portion of the green. Well done, but he'll have that remaining for a double bogey. And one more time, Maggart's second shot. Hits the lip, ricochets back, makes contact with him in the chest. It's not like in baseball. No time for Maggart to get out of the way. Nobody could have reacted quick enough on that one. And it just will go down as one of the all-time worst breaks in the game's history. Now Mike Weir. And that's the way to play the third. Fine wedge by Weir. That remaining for birdie. And Lanny, what must be going through his mind right now, leading the Masters and having an episode like that?
Well, you just got to regroup. This is tough, and right now he has to concentrate on his next shot and try not to compound the mistake. And Bobby, I just don't think it was that difficult to shot out of the bunker. He's only hitting wedge. Should have been able to get it over the lip without any problem. Had to be a miss hit.
And of course the lie dictates so much, and the contact certainly did hit a little thin. And some strange things happening here at 3. It started with Tiger going for the green with the driver. He blocked it right. Had this left-handed shot, just trying to escape from jail. And then Jeff Maggard, his second from the left-hand bunker. Right in the chest. 2-stroke penalty. Wow.
And Bobby, I'll tell you what else too. I promise you the players have noticed that Tiger has gone backwards on the leaderboard, and they are feeling a lot more positive about their game.
And certainly Weir and Vijay Singh. Maggart will have this some 50 feet remaining for a double bogey. Tiger made double bogey here. So Maggart realistically will go back to at least 300, and probably 2 or worse. This is not an easy 2-putt. He's going to like to chip it. Try to carry it over the fringe and spin it down the slope. He'll have 15 feet remaining for a triple bogey to 4.
Well, coming up the hill, not a whole lot of break in this one. David Toms. Good effort. Oh, you're joking. Really? That one just a flutter away from toppling in sideways. A superb effort from David Toms. 2 under par. In great shape. And look how close this comes. Just runs out of steam right there. Aye, what a game. The third.
And Weir now has the lead. And this for birdie to extend it. Oh, he had it right in the middle had he hit it. But you can't be too aggressive with that. So par 4 for Mike Weir. That'll be a 1-stroke lead for Weir over Vijay Singh. Into 5.
And Tiger's found the fairway at 5.
164 to the hole, pin in the back right.
Oh boy.
That is a most difficult position.
Back to 3.
And Maggart for triple bogey. Reminiscent perhaps of the one Vandevelde made of the 72nd hole at Carnoustie for triple. So Maggart will trail now by 2. Mike Weir in the lead in the final round of the Masters by narrow 1-stroke margin over Vijay Singh. Angel Cabrera, Argentinian. Jonathan Bird in his Masters debut from South Carolina. Mark O'Meara, the 98 champion. Fred Couples been playing very well of late. The 92 champion. We'll go up ahead to the 4th.
And Vijay Singh for par. Yep. So far, Tom's the only one to threaten the hole here. His new hole position has proved a problem. To the 6th.
And this is the difficulty confronting Phil Mickelson. His second shot missed the green badly to the right. And Mickelson, for whom things have gone extremely well. And we go to 3. 4, beg your pardon.
And Mike Weir in the lead once again. He had a 6-shot advantage at one stage during the first 9 yesterday. And the inward half, as it has done to so many players over the years, just jumped up and grabbed him, tempted him into taking on the shots. Looks like he's going to try and hit a little draw in here. He's lost a few to the right. That one looked better. To the left, rather. That's a good shot. That's up the hill from there and a decent chance. The only left-handed player ever to win a major, Bob Charles, the Open Championship. The 5th.
Well, the 3rd shot. He's opening it up.
Taking 60, going for a flop shot here, going to carry it all the way on top. I don't know how you can do it any better than that. That's unbelievable.
Only if you knock it in the hole, and that was just superb. To 4.
And what a test for Maggart. That's not going to help a whole lot. Not impossible from over there, but extremely difficult. And here's a tough one for Matisse at 7.
Not too much break to this putt, but it is quick. Yeah, it's so quick. It scared him enough to leave it short. But at -2, he's in the thick of things. Let's go to 6.
Mickelson for a 3. Matisse tapped in for his par. Phil Mickelson, first bogey of the front 9, had that 80-foot putt for birdie at the 2nd after having had to take a drop, but he missed the green badly wide right here at this par 3. And so things go sour for him for the first time. Could this be the day, finally, for his first major? Lanny, things seem to be setting up for him the way other players have played in the front 9 here.
Well, there's no question, Vern, that he's got the door wide open right now. Let's just see if he can walk through.
Now there's a blemish in the card at the 6th. First bogey of the day for Phil Mickelson, who is playing in his 43rd major and yet to achieve victory. There's Jim Furyk. Furyk safely in with a par 3. But Mickelson, of course, wearing that unwanted distinction of being the best player without a major. Here are major appearances before winning the first. Tom Kite, of course, finally broke through at the U.S. Open after 72. Mark O'Meara, Pavin Crenshaw, and then Phil Mickelson, who is competing this week in his 43rd major championship. Back to 4.
And Jeff Maggart over by the grandstand. Looks like he's got enough of a swing. And pitching back up, and probably will be looking right around the front edge, the fringe here. Trying to land it maybe just on the green. And he doesn't want to run it past the hole. Leave a lightning fast return down the slope again. And what agony he must be in at the moment. Really a brilliant triple bogey 7 at the last. But it's hard to paint a pretty picture out of that one. Well, he might well be considering taking relief, and that would be further, well, behind him as we look at him. Not near the hole, which wouldn't really improve his angle any. It's going to make it a little more sideways across the hill. We'll go back to the 5th quickly.
That's a par for Tiger. Just when it looked as though he may get back another, perhaps get a little energy boost from that up and down.
He's going to need a lot of energy from here on in, Jim. He's got a long way to go, and some awfully accomplished players right in front of him.
Yeah, he's got guys like Goosen now already on the second night at even par. Ernie Els approaching the ninth. He's at even, and ahead of him, Rich Beam, who won the last major. Back here with Singh at the fifth.
Pin in the back right, and really just need to put this in the center of the green. VJ did not get it on top.
He knew he was fighting to get above the ridge.
And that's actually right of the hole from that angle. Very, very difficult putt. He's got to go up over the slope and then back down and try and judge the speed right. Very difficult putt.
He's holed a couple of solid looking putts so far.
He has, and this is going to be a day of holing 4 to 6 footers just to maintain at times.
And David Toms on that left side.
In the second cut, nice angle to the pin, but all you want to do is get it on the top level in the center of the green. 160 to the hole for David.
Oh boy, watch this stance coming up.
Oh, he hit it in the center of the green, but just a bit too firm, and now he has a most difficult play.
Might have to go from the other side.
Left-handed putter wouldn't be a bad play, or go choke up with his son's putter from the other side.
Let's head to 4.
Maggart after the free drop. Pretty good. That one will be almost straight up the hill. That's where he wanted to leave it if he couldn't hold it. What a fight back it would be if he can get back into contention. This is the 8th, and Rich Beam.
And having a good tournament, 1 under par for a birdie at this uphill par 5. In the dramatic winner of the PGA Championship at Hazeltine last year, holding off Tiger's last-minute birdie run. Back again to number 4.
And a realistic chance here for Mike Weir. So you gave it a good solid wrap. A very good, very solid wrap. And that one will be a beauty. That'll be a beauty for his par. Rich Beam tapped in. Over at 8 for his par. Boy, what a miscue that was. Mike Weir, similar in stature to Gary Player. Also wearing the all black today. Also a man not quite as fanatical as Gary was and still is about his fitness, but thinks about it a lot. This is 6.
And a 2-time champion, Jose Maria Olazabal on the tee. Hole cut usual Sunday. Placement back right. And he's missed badly wide right. Seven iron. We go to 4.
Lightning fast down the hill. This to save par and to stay in the lead. Beautiful stroke. That's a real test of intestinal fortitude right there, and a little smile of relief. Back to 6th.
And Tiger Woods, and what a journey on this first 5 holes for Tiger. Birdie at the 2nd, double at the 3rd, bogey at the 4th, up and down at the 5th, and the tee shot here at 6. Unusual, huh? Back to 4.
Maggart for par. Well, despite a triple at the previous hole, he's still only 2 back. Ahead of the 5th.
And VJ
has to put this way out to the right. It's going to go up the slope and then break left down the slope to the hole. Very difficult to judge. What an effort by VJ Soon. Still leaves himself 6 feet, and it's not a bad putt at all.
He points out there, we maybe should have given it a little more. Ernie Els, yesterday he came to 18. Everything was going south on him. He said it was essential. He hole about a 12-footer for par to keep his hopes going for Sunday. He's got a good round going, and look at this in the 9. He'll have that for red figures to get within 3. He opened here with 79.
This is some comeback by Ernie Els.
To think that the highest score ever shot by an eventual winner in the opening round, that is 75 by Craig Stadler, who made the cut, by the way, this year at 49.
Yes, he did, and still playing awfully solid golf.
And the Beamer, Rich Beam, in his first Masters. And he has had a good showing in LA and some not so good showings this season. But,
and I think starting to get determined to show people that he really can play.
He really can. Showing it for sure here. Let's go to 7.
From 98 yards, Phil Mickelson. That's going to come back to the hole. Phil Mickelson almost assured of recovering that stroke he lost back at 6. And just when we thought maybe we were going to see some conservative play out of Phil, he unloads a 312-yard drive at 7. Let's go back to 6.
Well, if you got 5 championships between these two, Olazabal will be the first to play. Second shot. Just off the edge. Wonderful. Jose Maria back to 5.
Oh, look at this. Little waist-high putting effort.
Well, the toughest thing is to make solid contact, and you always feel like you're not going to hit it hard enough because you've choked up so far on the club, and then you overcompensate.
To 6.
Tiger Woods. I thought for a moment and would not have been surprised had it dropped, but he's got a tester for par to 5.
And this is for par for Thomas.
Oh, what a save by David Toms. That putt was so fast.
Just 2 back. Back on the tee, the leader.
Just wants to hit it to the right of the bunkers. Oh, and he's got it going left, either in the first bunker or the second cut. I think it's in the bunker.
Back to VJ. We've seen him hold a couple from this length. Plays it outside the hole, but not enough. The lead is 2. Well, let's go back over to 7.
Not much to this putt, but it better hit the hole. Anything that catches an edge or misses the hole will run at least 3 or 4 feet by. Phil Mickelson poised now to get to -2. And the way things are going, we are in for some afternoon. The committee set this golf course up, telling me this morning they wanted to hear some Sunday roars at Augusta, and we are going to get that. For birdie. Safely in for Phil Mickelson, and there's a Sunday roar. Now only 2 shots behind our leader, Mike Weir, and he is in trouble back at 5 as we go to 6.
For par. Well, had to have it. Just had to have that to the 9th.
And Ernie Els needs this for birdie. Four birdies on that first 9. 6, 8, and 9. He has found the groove. So it appears. Let's go back over to the 5th and Mike Weir.
In one of these new bunkers that's about 12 to 15 feet deep, and Mike Weir has 156 to the hole. Now, we've seen some people get it to the green from here this week, Jim, but I don't think Mike has the strength and the launch angle to get it up and get it near the green from here.
So you better be careful. We've learned from Maggart now. You just got to make sure you clear the lip.
No question. He needs to hit this over to the left, so he's got plenty of green to work with on his 3rd shot.
No problem getting over the top of that bunker. And it'll be positioned right in front of the green.
Actually got a little bit too far to the right. I think he's got a much more difficult pitch from that angle. He's got a pitch much on the same line that VJ Singh had his putt. You saw how far out he had to put his putt.
Well, Weir, when he was over here playing 5 yesterday in the 3rd round, he led by 6. So just how quick it can change. Over to 8.
And Len Matisse, who was going so well, this is his 4th shot at the par 5, and he's still out of position coming over this mound, and that is a superb shot. Unbelievable. You have to avoid the left-hand side with this back left hole position, and it's his 3rd birdie of the day. To be where he was after 3 shots really was horrid, but he landed the pitch exactly right, got the bounce. 3 under. That's only 1 off the lead. Mike Weir will be struggling at the 5th. An amazing afternoon of golf. Ernie Els 1 under par, 79 in the 1st round to the 9th.
And here's Rich Beam.
142 to the hole. Time for Rich to make a move, and that's not the swing he wanted. Actually, line-wise, not too bad if it keeps coming back down the hill, but just hit it too far. Really fast putt from there, Jim.
2 under here in the final round. And back at the 5th hole earlier, Beam.
Seven-iron, 2nd shot.
The man has a sense of occasion.
Yes, he does.
And so too, Lenny Matisse just moments ago at the 8th.
An all-world 4 for the man from Wake Forest.
And we head to the tee at 6.
VJ Singh. 6-iron. And again, missed off wide right. Strikes me that the competition committee is getting a full complement of Sunday roars, but not in the way they envision. Let's go back to the 5th.
Yes, those producing the roars, not necessarily the ones we all expected. Here's Weir.
You can see how far he has to play it out to the right. Boy, is this well judged. Wonderful play by Mike Weir. That's some serious talent right there to get that one close.
Again, yesterday, early in the 3rd round, he had a lead of 6, but by day's end, he was 2 down. Now he's back in front, and we head ahead to the 6th.
And a moment ago, tee shot of David Toms. As you have seen, this is a precarious pin position, and anything but accessible. And David Toms checks up just about the same spot from which Tiger Woods was capable of getting it up and down to 7.
Where Tiger is poised to hit his 3-wood off this tee. And that swing, his little knockdown stinger action, he calls it. And he's still, that ball picked up some mud. That is not in a good area to attack the whole location today. Back to 6.
You saw just a moment ago David Tom's tee shot. Now we're live. This his second. Five, 6 feet left for a 3. Jim mentioned the brilliant appearance he had here in 1998 when he wound up tied for 6th. And of course, we all remember his stirring victory in the battle with Phil Mickelson at Atlanta 2 years ago. At 5 a moment ago.
Jeff Maggart for birdie. Oh, what a nice turnaround.
That is some gutsy putt right there.
One of the more unusual circumstances you'll see in a major back there at 3. It reminds you a little bit of the T.C. Chin double hit back at the 85.
Oakland Hills, 2 chipped it, leading the tournament by a bunch at the time. Andy North went on to win.
Now live with Mike Weir. That is a great par. Out of that bunker and in front of that green. Wonderful third shot he played. Let's go to 7.
Now Tiger Woods, 156 left for his second shot. Needs to put this past the hole. There you see the mud that the ball picked up. He needs to put it past the hole. Try to let the slope of the green bring it back. No. Tiger Woods, who has never won a major championship coming from behind, continues to struggle. Let's go to 6.
And earlier this was VJ Singh's second shot. Difficult par 3 as we've seen. Now live, David Toms to save par. Well done to get it up and down. Stays 2 back, even through 6 on Sunday at Augusta. Back to 9 or forward to 9.
Rich Beam.
Looking 35, 40 feet down the hill. Big break to the left, and this putt is really, really fast. And that's extremely well judged by Rich Beam.
Once said, I've had a love affair with the Masters since I was a young kid. This is his first, and what an appearance it is. Let's go to 6.
2000 champion VJ Singh. Two well-deserved, hard-earned pars. Rich Beam tapped in. VJ Singh is 2 back of Mike Weir. Little glance back at the scoreboard. And the final pairing has reached the elevated tee of this beautiful par 3. Jeff Maggart and Mike Weir. Just so difficult to imagine, Lanny, what it must have taken for Jeff Maggart to shake the effects of the triple bogey.
Well, Vern, all of a sudden he felt like he was in a nightmare, and it was so early in the round. He's thinking, gosh, this is way too early for something like this to happen. Makes for a real long day, but he's fighting back hard.
6 iron. Sets up left side of the tee.
Good.
Just off the back edge. Lanny, have you ever had anything like that happen?
More times than I care to remember, Vern. Thank you very much.
To the 7.
Tiger Woods, front bunker, can go to the hole, the back edge of the green. That was a swing as if the ball were plugged. And now he really has a difficult shot for his third attempt, or fourth rather, at this hole. Back to 6.
Mike Weir. 6 iron. Leader by 1 over Len Matisse and Jeff Maggart.
Either one, Mike. Either one. Either one.
Best we've seen today by far. Remarkably consistent first 36 holes. Rounds of 70 and 68. Played so well in the front 9 yesterday. Let things slip a little in the back 9, but he's gathered himself and has it back together. To Tiger at 7.
Just barely needs to get this on the green. Gravity will take over from there. Nicely judged, but it will be a bogey 5 for Tiger at the 7th hole. That'll drop him to +2. He's really digging himself a hole now. At this point, it is imperative that he can attack the 8th hole and get something to happen there to turn this match around. Let's go to 8 now.
And Phil Mickelson found the bunker off the tee, has 110 yards left for his third shot. See the pin tucked way on the left behind the ridge. Chances are that Len Matisse couldn't even see the top of the flagstick from where he hit his fourth shot, and Mickelson will have a very, very difficult birdie putt. Up and over a ridge, won't know whether to play it perhaps left to right, right to left. He'll have an option. It's a very difficult putt. To 9.
And Len Matisse
right up against the second cut, 147. Just want to make sure you get this up on top. Oh, and he did. That's a very nice play from there.
Lenny playing in his second Masters, but it has been 16 years since he last played here. He came here as an amateur back in '87. Back to 8.
Jim Furyk, 70 yards on his third. And he wouldn't have been a player who would have been thinking about finding the green in 2. Always going to lay up to the comfortable yardage, and he has a great chance for a birdie. Ahead to 10.
And Ernie Els after a big tee shot here.
167 is all he has left. Pin in the back left, probably the most accessible pin on this green. Had it right on line, just needed about a half a club more.
Ernie out there well ahead of the lead groups and only 3 shots back to 6.
And the second shot now of Jeff Maggart. Had that wonderful 6 under par 66 in the 3rd round yesterday. The terrible misfortune of a triple bogey on the 3rd hole today, when his shot out of the fairway bunker ricocheted and hit him in the chest. Nice effort. Now look at Mike Weir on the tee at 6. Take a look at the eyes, Lanny.
He's following it. He is all business right there, Vern. I tell you one thing, that is also one of the best swings he's made today. In fact, in the last 18 holes, he stayed nice and level. His arm swung very free through the club. No wonder the shot turned out so well.
Well, he grew up, as we mentioned yesterday, about an hour east of Detroit, Ontario. As with all Canadian youngsters, a big hockey fan, particularly of Wayne Gretzky. Has Paul Coffey in his gallery today, longtime great player in the NHL. And he's increased the lead. It's now 2. He was asked if he had done for Canadian golf what Gretzky had done for all of hockey. He said not quite, to 7.
Vijay Singh, only 113 yards left after a 297-yard drive. That's fairly well done. He'll leave himself about 20 feet for his birdie. Back to 6.
Jeff Maggard. Well, he's steadying himself. Very much in the picture. 2 off the lead. Forward to the 8th.
And Phil Mickelson's very long birdie putt up over a ridge, just about halfway along the length of the putt is at the top of the rise, up to there, and he's playing it from left to right, and then it'll go right to left at the end. Well, he made that enormous putt at the second. This would have been even more extraordinary with the contours involved. Has to settle for a par 5, head to 9.
And then Matisse for another birdie. Let's make a left turn.
Look where he played that putt, Jim. What an effort.
Little 90-degree action. Mickelson made his par at 8 as we head to 10, and L's birdie attempt. It'll be interesting to see Ernie deal with some of the demons back here on this side. 13 specifically, and the hole that led to his undoing last year.
Yes, but he's in an attack mode right now, and he knows that if he can post a score, they might be chasing him all the way to the clubhouse. Very difficult green here to see many putts made. Shadows are very hard to read the putts.
To 7.
Where Mike Weir has the driver out. Again, it is imperative to find this fairway. He doesn't like that at all. I believe that caught one of the overhanging branches, and it could have kicked it almost anywhere. This golf course is now a complete examination of major championship skills. No longer can you just bomb it off the tee. You must find the fairways. To 8.
Jim Furyk, who finds a lot of fairways and putts very well. On 2 of his last 3 wins, he's come from behind on the final line. Doral, the Memorial Tournament last year. Brilliant play on the second 9. Mickelson made his par. We saw the long putt come up just short. We'll go back to the 7th.
This time to the green, where Vijay Singh, who has, well, through 3 rounds, he had the most putts of anybody on the leaderboard. His ball striking solid as ever. But with the number of putts he's had, that tells me he's not put the ball in the best possible locations on the green. You know, it'll be the 4th straight par at number 7 for Vijay Singh. Let's take a look at number 7. 410 yards, named Pampas. Extremely tight fairway that tilts substantially from left to right in the landing area. So you got to try and curve it in there right to left. Once you find the fairway, an uphill second shot, a wedge or thereabouts if you elect to go with a driver. Very, very narrow green from back to front. Now Vijay did tap in for his par. Now David Toms, this putt left for his par. It was trouble off the tee. So many golf holes here now. Just a superb test of risk and reward. If you hit the driver, you've got a fairly straightforward shot at birdie. but if you miss the fairway, you could be looking at bogey or worse in the case of Mike Weir. It'll be a bogey for David Toms at 7. One over for the day, 1 under for the tournament. And 4 shots behind our leader, but he is in trouble here at 7. Let's go to 10.
And Rich Beam.
149 to the hole, coming from the left side of the fairway.
Wants to work it a little bit.
Come on.
And he'll stay below the hole after first 934. This is the golf ball of Mike Weir over at 7.
Well, the embedded ball rule, which is a local rule, is in effect this week, Jim, so he will get relief under the embedded ball rule. It may even be casual water, and if it is casual water, which it appears that he's taking a drop from that, he will go to the nearest relief, complete relief, and drop there.
That's near.
Looks like it.
Get that chair right there.
Over to the 8th.
And Tiger Woods 180 yards to the hole on a par 5. Usually that's a second shot for him. This is his 3rd shot. He was in the huge bunker off the tee, as he was yesterday, and he's looking as if he's hooked it. That's not good, and struggles continue. He's made this hole 5-6-5 the first 3 rounds. Had he found the fairway, I'm sure he could have reached the green with his second and maybe restart the batteries. What a battle for Tiger. Back to 7.
Well, now they're trying to determine the nearest point of complete relief for Mike Weir.
Okay, watch this way. Step it right from here.
3, we're still about that far short. 1, 2.
Yeah, you can hear the sloshing, so that is casual water, and that is the relief that he's taking.
Okay, thank you.
And he is getting a break here because had that
10 feet that way, please.
position to the right of his golf ball been closer, he would have had substantial difficulties with the trees.
Back. More.
This is still not an enviable position. He did hit the trees off the tee, so he's going to have a longer second shot. Let's go to Rich Beam at 10.
A very dangerous guy when he gets on a roll. We saw it at Hazeltine. This for birdie.
Upright, big movement right to left. Hard to hit this putt hard enough. Just to not pick up the amount of slope that's there in the shadows. Very difficult to putt this green. Hardly ever see putts made here.
So all you can ask for when you're a Masters rookie to head to the second 9 Sunday and have a chance to win the green jacket. First time winners here are very few indeed. Fuzzy Zeller. Gene Sarazen didn't play in the first, so 35 he had one. Let's go to 8.
And it looks to be a power fade, the ideal shot. The tees were moved back and to the right 2 years ago. So it sets up for the fade. The bunker enlarged, 50 yards long with a good lip as well. Let's go to number 9.
Jim Furyk.
Coming out of the first cut, really needs to get it up on top. Cannot leave this ball short.
Looked a little chunky, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Looked like it was heavy. 147 to the hole. Now he's really left with a tough shot.
Jim has put together a very fine final round, 2 under to this point, without any mistakes, but hard work ahead for his par at the 9th.
Now Mickelson only 99 yards to the hole, Jim, and this is a tremendous drive for him here. Perfect position in the right center of the fairway, looking right up at the pin.
Just hit it a little lower so you can skip it once for you. I think so. What do you think about that? I like that. Well, I like the gap. I think if you get the conscious gap, you just don't pick the job. You like the gap right now? That's absolutely right.
He's talking about a gap wedge. He's trying to figure out what Jim Mackay, his caddy, trying to figure out what club that they want to hit that they can keep it on the level with the pin, that it won't either spin back down the hill or take him too far and leave him the really slick downhill putt.
Leads the field in driving distance. All he wants to do is lead the field, period.
Little three-quarter swing with the gap wedge, trying to keep the spin off it.
He won a little now.
Just hit it much too hard. Again, a very difficult putt. 45 feet down the hill. A lot of movement from right to left.
Over at 10, Lynn Matisse. That time he played here was actually 88. He was a member of the Walker Cup team. They used to be invited, and thus that was Matisse's debut, and now back again for this just the second time years later.
Leaves it in the front right. He's got almost 60 feet from there to the pin.
And over at 8.
And this was earlier Tiger Woods' fourth shot. 2 over par, 7 behind Mike Weir. And some uncharacteristic play around the greens from Tiger today. That double bogey at the third just shocked him out of the routine, back to the 7th.
Well, Mike Weir now has lifted his golf ball, cleaned it, and dropped it. We have him at about 186 yards, and trust me, folks, this green is not designed for a shot from 186 yards.
Peter, his mistake has to be in the front bunker, don't you think?
Well, absolutely, Lanny, and he has to make sure that he doesn't plug it in that front bunker. I think he can play probably a little bit of a low shot under those branches in front of him.
Yeah, I don't think the trajectory he's going to be hitting this shot from this kind of position will, I don't think it'll have any chance of plugging in the front bunker. So that's got to be his objective. Might even try to run it between the bunkers from here and get lucky.
You know, first of all, he has to make solid contact, because any kind of a fat shot from this lie will go nowhere. Well, he ran it right into that front right bunker. It'll depend on the lie, but that's not a bad position from which to save his 4. To 9.
Jim Furyk.
Interesting play there, Jim. Most players would have taken bumped it into the hill. Jim took the high spinning route out past the hole. That's well done.
Right off the backboard for the old point guard out of Pennsylvania. Well judged. Back to 7.
Where Jeff Maggard, after a wonderful tee shot, 124 yards left. No, this will come back to the hole. Oh no, what a bad break again for Jeff Maggard. That stayed on the high side. Let's go to 9.
Mickelson laying it way outside.
A good 10 or 15 feet to the right of the hole.
Too much speed.
Just a hair too much speed. I mean, cannot tell you what a difficult putt that was.
Back over to 8.
And Tiger Woods chipping for a par. Made the exquisite birdie at the second hole, a monster drive, a beautiful long iron to close within 3 of the lead. He's going to be at least 5 over since then to 9.
And Mickelson is this putt for par, and an entire day for him set up with one of the all-time birdies you'll ever want to see at the second hole. If he goes on and wins this tournament, they might as well make the plaque tomorrow and have it placed out there left of the second fairway by Tuesday. That will be one of the all-timers at this tournament. Just joining us, he drove it into a hazard in the forest left of 2. Took his drop, his penalty. Hit driver off the pine straw, somehow working it around the tree limbs, getting it to the front edge of the green, where from some, who knows, 80 feet, he holed it for birdie and burst into one of the biggest smiles you'll ever see. Much movement here, Lanny.
Pretty straight putt, Jim. 4 feet up the hill for par. Can go ahead and make an aggressive stroke.
Well done. He could not ask for a better position heading to the last 9. Tiger's game is completely off the track. And Phil, that was a thrill-packed 9 holes of golf right there.
As always with Phil, it's never dull.
Over to 7.
Bunker shot for Mike Weir. Oh, just a marvelous shot from there. Again, though, he is struggling to save his pars, and that will catch up with you sooner or later around here. He'll have that left to remain at -5 and maintain his 2-shot lead. Let's go back to 8.
For a bogey 6. Had a hole that could have turned things around. 6 for Tiger, and look at that after the beautiful birdie at the second. A double bogey and 3 bogeys. He's played this 8th hole 2 over par. The 9th.
And Furyk, he's well, only some 5 feet, and he's got at least a foot of break, it looks like, worked into this.
He does, and it's extremely fast. Makes it hard to pick out the line and the speed.
No problem.
Oh, he went the bold route. Just kind of hammer that in there, Jim.
He's a gutsy guy. He won Jack Nicklaus's tournament last May, and completely unflappable on that Sunday, holding a bunker shot, winning Nicklaus's event. But he's always said this is his favorite event as we head to the 8th.
And this was earlier. Vijay Singh, a good line into this back left hole position. This was earlier, and it's a downslope from there. He would have expected a firmer first bounce. Can't believe he's still that far away. To 11.
This is actually the 10th, and Lynn Matisse.
Some 80 feet.
In Crenshaw territory.
Oh my goodness, Lynn Matisse.
Shades of Ben Crenshaw, 1984.
Almost exactly the same spot Crenshaw held it from. Lenny's looking a little magical today.
Oh, you're not kidding. Let's show you one more time, but let's substitute Ben instead of Lynn.
Almost the identical spot. Some 80 feet.
That's one of the greatest putts I've ever seen.
And one of the greatest putts we've ever seen too, Bob Murphy. 19 years later.
Same general area. Maybe not quite as far away as Ben Crenshaw, but the same result.
How about that? Crenshaw went on the win. Over to 11.
And Rich Beam, his second. 11, 490 yards, par 4. Hole cut far left-hand side of the green. And from 178, well played. That's mission accomplished below the hole by the reigning PGA champ. And Mike Weir holding on to a tenuous 1-stroke advantage over Len Matisse after the bomb that he drained at 10. And Jeff Maggard attempting a comeback after the triple bogey at the 3rd. And Mickelson scrambling well, 1 under through the first 9. And 2-time Masters champion Jose Maria Olazabal, even par in his round today. Ernie Els just had a huge drive but made bogey at 11, back to even to 8.
Mike Weir, 570 yards, 50-yard long bunker on the right. About 305 yards to carry that. The tee's up about 10 yards from the back of the tee, maybe to tempt the longer hitters. And he steps away. Everybody loves it. Beautifully positioned. He'll be looking forward to setting himself up for another nifty pitch shot as he hit at number 2 for a tap-in birdie. 8 under par for the par 5s for somebody considered one of the shorter hitters. To the 7th.
This was earlier from above the hole, Jeff Maggard. really a bit unfortunate that his ball stayed up there. He went on to make his par. Now David Toms at 8.